Yes, this is just going to be a quick overview of the program, where things are, how to get around in Photoshop. So there's some quick key commands that you're going to want to remember. The first one is Command plus and Command minus. So if you hit the Command key plus the plus key, it's going to zoom in. Command minus is going to zoom out. I'm just going to zoom in again. Command 0 is going to fit to screen. If you're zoomed in and you want to move around, even if you're in another tool, it'll turn into the hand. If you hold the space bar down, it will turn into the hand tool, and you can move around by clicking and dragging. Once it's released, it goes back to your previous tool that you were using. Even if you're in the middle of, like, let's say a pretty detailed selection, so you might see my cursor moving around. I'm just kind of randomly clicking the selection. But if I want to continue this off screen, I can do this in a really controlled way by holding the space bar and scooting myself over so I can see more, even though I'm zoomed in. A good selection, you should be zoomed in. This is not a good selection, but you can zoom around. And then you can also click and just kind of push around, but it's not always as controlled as the space bar, and there are times that you want the space bar. So there's my selection that I made with the polygon lasso tool. Using the hand tool, which is the quick key command for the hand tool is the space bar. The only tool that doesn't work in is the type tool, because it's going to think that you want spaces in your type. So some of these command keys, most of these command keys don't work in the while you're in the type tool. So now, since we have a nice selection, or not a nice selection, what I'm going to do right now is use the Command D for deselect to drop the selection. I can Command Z that, as in zebra, to bring it back. So that's an edit undo is Command Z. You can see a lot of these, every quick key command is labeled next to the actual tools, but instead of looking them up, there's some really important ones like Command plus, Command minus, Command 0, the space bar, Command D, Command Z, and Command T that I have highlighted here that you're going to want to have in memory. Also, these up here, which are copy and paste, which we're going to use those right now. So we're going to use all three. So I'm going to copy my selection and I'm going to paste it. Notice in my layers panel now I have another selection that I can move around. If I Command T that, so I just did Command C to copy and Command V as in Victor to paste. I'm going to now use Command T and I'm going to turn this off, background layer off. I'm going to Command T this, and so you can see that you can pull from the corners, and that makes it bigger or smaller, so you're changing scale. I can come to the outside, and the black arrow turns into a line with two little arrows that are on a curved line. That's my rotate tool. If I use the shift key and pull from these corners, it does allow me to distort it. So if I don't have that, it will constrain proportions. So the shift key, now Adobe finally was able to do that, because for very, very many years you had to hold the shift key to constrain proportions, and if you didn't have it, it would allow you to distort the proportions, which really in most cases you want to constrain proportions. So that was nice that Adobe made that change. The other thing you can do is skew. So I can pull from the corners when I'm holding the command key down. So I'm holding the command key down and it allows me to play around with a perspective or skew uh, this, this object. So I'm going to go ahead and click done, or you can double click in the center or hit enter. And now we can see that I really messed that up. Now I can also delete that layer. Yes. So those are a few quickie commands that you're going to want to know. Command Z for edit, undo. Command C to copy. Command V to paste. Command T to transform. And of course, the deselect, which is a really important one, and being able to navigate with the space bar and command minus and command plus.